Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from Berlin, Germany. He weighed in at 90.2 kilograms or 198 3/4 U.S. pounds. With the most defenses in the history of the cruiserweight division, his record stands at 40 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw, with 27 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, making his 21st world title appearance, please welcome the popular and renowned two-time cruiserweight champion of the world, introducing silver trim, hailing from Kiev, Ukraine. His weight 90.5 kilograms or 199 1/2 U.S. pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with a record of 12 wins, no losses, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the #1 seed in the World Boxing Super Series, and tonight he is making the 3rd defense of his world title. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2012 Olympic gold medalist. Please welcome the reigning and defending WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world, the undefeated Oleksandr Usyk.
Long right jab from Huck. Touching sequence, what a magnificent time to be. Both men look to invest early on. Huck's corner team were up on the ring apron. That's the transgression. Usyk scored with a good left hand to the body. Pulling forwards, but it's a two. Then Huck started to wail away to the body. Good right jab in once again. Hurtful shots have been landed to the body. Far less activity. Again, Ron, a bunch of medalists and champions in particular who have gone on to make a significant pound-for-pound list, the mythical pound-for-pound list. I couldn't forget Anthony Joshua, man who took super heavyweight. He attempted to make a 14th successful defense. Floor for the first time in his career. The second time, really heavily, and heavy leather. Usyk grins his gum shield contemptuously, gets his boxing and marches his man back towards the ropes and begins to score with an effective southpaw left. Here, the equation is quite simple. Win and you progress, lose and Usyk scored with a good left hand just a few moments ago. Right hand wasn't too far away from Huck, and he comes forward. Usyk, though, remaining composed under fire. Back to the space of Seb. Constant instruction from the right, from my right here at ring. First world title contest, so he knows what he needs to do. Beyond the midpoint. Tempting and teasing with it before getting... Continuing to contract and expand the ring out, making his presence felt when the two men came together at the press conference. Usyk gets back on a single phase attack, but short to the mark, and now beginning to bring uppercuts through the middle. Huck made weight tournament. Here, our focus is on the cruiserweight in such impressive fashion. And Christoph on the road in the USA, and he used to put Blavatsky on the floor. Energy levels remaining very good indeed, continuing to work up on it, does that punch. But it was blocked easily. That's a wonderful left hand to the body from Usyk. Back comes Huck with the right hand. Be sure that shot got his attention, but he's back in the space of the Usyk, bearing that gum shield in that maniacal grin that he possesses. And that has caused Huck to become just a little bit disorganized. Hand success downstairs and upstairs from Oleksandr Usyk. What a left in the 4th round, and we are seeing some to Usyk, who's getting the better of those exchanges. Because he's again Huck as he gets onto the front foot by the man who resides here in Berlin. But again, it's in Beijing 4 years prior to that. But again, look at that for a spear, managing to snake his way through the guard with that southpaw right. Now Usyk. Good right hand lands from Huck, and the showboating in evidence from Oleksandr Usyk, saying, yeah, well that didn't hurt. He dipped his knees in exaggeration. And he gave his blessing to the... It was run by him. He light forwards and scored with some straight punches, but back comes Usyk once again. Free Robert Byrd to intervene, but in fairness, Robert Byrd contest is being fought at a terrific pace, and is a solid double right jab. In a 12-round contest, but from Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk now coming forward, 3-shot. Usyk bobbing, weaving, working his way inside. That experience, the deeper we go into the ropes momentarily. Usyk back on the front foot now. Sensational. All of the top cruiserweights in contention for the inaugural Muhammad Ali Trophy. Doesn't complain, instead he steps right back into the breach. Of his 4 defeats, only 2 of them have come inside the distance. As Usyk gets onto the front foot, Huck bobbing and weaving, but he cut away. Instead, he was looking, touching the fact he may have taken a break in the first half of round 6. And Huck now almost following his man around the light shots, pecking and poking with the hard right cross fired out by Huck. Did the same shot once again, but now here comes Oleksandr Usyk, unloading heavy leather. Huck covering up, trying to fire back with the right hand. Here in the Muhammad Ali Trophy, the war. Somebody will be outside of the Muhammad Ali Trophy, as Usyk again gets by that because he dropped his elbows. And then he gets tagged by a straight left hand straight through the guard. There's the same but Del Pierre from France. He sat in a rather unusual position in the bag, as has happened in previous big fights. Perhaps most notable, his mouth wide open. That's a counter right hook though from the... But back comes Usyk. And his success is more sustained, partially turning his back, looking to launch a sneak onto right hand again. But in the meantime, sustained, fusillade of punches coming from Oleksandr Usyk. Left hand success, and then a sneaking underhand left. Huck in real trouble, and the momentum of... 9th round we go. And Oleksandr Usyk, perhaps sensing that Marco Huck is ready for the taking, has got onto the front foot to sneaky lead right hands. Now he's getting to work with Chris. And now bobbing and weaving in front of his man wants success. And these punches, encouraged by the vocal support he's receiving here, remaining composed, looking for the openings through. Now is he trying to launch a sneaky counter right hand in a seemingly vulnerable position? But it appears to me, as he's put under pressure from some accurate punch picking from Oleksandr Usyk. Bob one now, Marco Huck. But it seems to me that Huck is putting all his store. And perhaps we're seeing the difference here between the 46 professional contests. Marco Huck again taking up what is the scheduled distance. Before that, it was 9 knockouts of Oleksandr Usyk. Caused many of the punches in that combination to cannon off. Hooks around the corner, uppercuts through the middle. Immediately steps back into punching range, scores with the right hand upstairs, then working the body. Huck bobbing and weaving once again, trying to fight his way off the ropes, but only totters across the boxing ring to take up residence on the ropes on the far side of the ring, near Usyk's corner. Furious assault being launched by Oleksandr Usyk. Is he looking to finish it here? Huck trying to hold on, but instead he's only covering up. Bobbing and weaving near left hand to the body caused him to wilt. Again he's trying to fight his way out of the corner. Uppercut ripping through the middle. Robert Byrd poised, taking a close look at Marco Huck. All of his strength being put to the test. Usyk working away furiously. Shots underneath. Robert Byrd has stepped in and has waved it off. In the 10th round of this contest, Oleksandr Usyk makes a successful 3rd defense of his WBO